Hey everybody, this is the Renny Doyle webcast / podcast. Today I've got somebody I consider a really good friend and a good friend of the industry, a good friend of many, Mr. Chris West, Solution Finish. I think, Chris, I think you're one of these people in the world that has done I think everybody knows your product, but I think they know you even better.
That's funny. I
Which
wish I would know they would know my product better, maybe.
Well, I think they do, but I think that you've done such a great job of getting out there that everybody knows who you are. And
I appreciate it.
you know, I think you're just a likable guy. And I mean, well, look at him. You know, he said he didn't sleep at all last night, and he still looks cool.
Yeah, I'm beat, but I'm happy to be here. Thanks for, I look at your list of people that you've interviewed and talked to, and I thought, well, this is unusual. So, I appreciate it. I love you guys so much. And,
Well,
I try to be a part of the whole thing, whatever it is.
You do a good job. And, the thing is that we kind of wanted to get through the whole, there's people I wanted to talk to. I hate to say it after COVID, because we're still dealing with this bullshit.
Yeah.
But there's people I didn't want to take and lose. And there's people I didn't want to lose in the whole soup, that we had going on, and you're one of them.
Well, thanks.
We got a couple other people we're going to go back and re-interview, just because I don't know, man. It's still like you just hear about it nonstop, and I myself am trying to just kind of pan it out. So tell us about, Chris West. I've got a lot of insight, and I'll ask you some questions and stuff, but you've had a great life, into bikes and stuff like that, and kids, family, dogs, all that good stuff. So tell us a little something about you.
Oh my God. Well, I kind of fell into this. I built custom homes for 40 years, multi-million-dollar, 8,000, 12,000 square foot houses, ball players, celebrities live in them, in the magazines, on the winning awards. And I just got burned out. But in my real estate and construction company, I built and owned and operated 6 coin-operated car washes. And I did that for years. And what I did is I bought the property, built it, won awards for the Car Wash Beautiful contest. And in that industry, I would go around to the different conventions and talk to the guys that wanted to get into business on how to get through the city, how to get through the permit process, because nobody wants a coin-operated car wash in their city, trust me. So, but in that time, a lot of people would say, Chris, what can we do about the plastic? We're using Armor All, we know what to do in the paint. You got to use turtle wax, So I had an idea about 20 years ago, and until the real estate market crashed again for me around 2009, 2010, I just spent 6 months in my garage mixing up a bunch of stuff and trying to perfect my idea. And then I did. I had that eureka moment where I went, oh, this is it, I think. And since then, Solution Finish has gone into three different formulas, 3 different generations. And I'm really excited about a chemical I have coming from Sweden. And it's like an antioxidant light stabilizer for the plastic formula that I think it's going to give it much better UV protection. So, I didn't just go, I got it and leave it. It's developing, because I got to stay ahead of the competition. I mean, I look at Facebook and I see all these black trim restorers coming on the market, and I always buy them. I see something, I buy it, I try it, and then I go, boy, that's not going to be a competition. But they're better at marketing than I am. They're doing the videos, they're doing all the things, so they're getting a lot of exposure and they're getting a lot of sales, but they won't last. The one I tried literally lasted 3 days. I put it on, washed it, and it all went down the side of the vehicle. So with me, it's all about just being a part of the industry. I mean, I was in construction and development. I was with the car wash industry, you know, the big equipment guys. And, but I found my love. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah.
So now you talked about building houses and, you know, a lifetime of entrepreneurship. You know, what's changed? So, you know, building houses at one time, were you just crazy about building houses and construction, or was it just a means of paying the bills?
For a long time, it was an incredible passion. You know, I did things a little different. You know, I didn't build houses for people as a contractor. I would go in and buy the property, subdivide it, put in the sewer, water, storm drain, streets, you know, and develop the whole property, end up designing the houses. Like my last project was up in Anaheim Hills, and it was 7 houses, all Tuscany style, gated. I always did the front and back landscaping. They were all turnkey, and they won a bunch of awards, and the market fell, and nothing sold. My last project was probably the project I'm most proud of. You know, you look at it today, 10 years later, and it looks like a little Tuscany village down with the cobblestone streets and the big fountain in the middle of the cul-de-sac. I mean, and it's now everything's grown up. You know, the vines are coming up over the eaves, and it's pretty crazy. But I got tired of giving my shit away every 10 years. You know, back when I was a young developer, the peanut farmer came in office, interest shot up to 18, 22%. I lost all of those. Then back, I think, you know, the 2000-ish, all the SNLs went under. All my construction loans were gone. Lost all of those. And then this last crash. So I just wanted something I could do, and I'm in charge of my own destiny. Not what the market's doing, not what interest is doing, not what the economy's doing, not what the bankers are doing, but I either make a success of it or I don't, but it's all up to me, you know.
Gotcha. I love it. For the 4 people on the planet that are car guys or car gals or detailers, professional or amateur, tell us a solution finish. So you're running the bays, the car washes, you're going to the shows. What really catapulted this in your brain that this is what I want to do? So tell us how did the name Solution Finish come around?
Oh, that's interesting. You know, when you have a product, or you have I had little shot glasses full of this liquid, and I'm looking at it and I'm trying to figure out what to name it. Now, keep in mind, when I started, I didn't know one detailer. I didn't know anybody. I was so far removed from that industry. And the car wash industry is a lot different than the auto care detailing industry. You know, they're same concept, but a different mindset. So I didn't know anybody. And we're trying to figure out the names. We're trying to, actually, I didn't even know what to call it as a product. I never, is it a dressing? Is it a coating? I mean, I didn't even know what to call it. I didn't know the lingo. And when you don't know the lingo, you have to play with it. Well, I figured, okay, I'm writing everything down. It's a solution. Okay, got it. It's for your trim. It finishes out the trim, and went around and kicked a million different, Black Widow, Black Magic. And my wife goes, what about Solution Finish? It's a solution, and it finishes your car, and you're finished when you do it one time. And it just kind of clicked and went, Solution Finish. That's a good name. I mean, so that's where it came. And then the trim restore part is somebody asked me what it did. And I go, well, it restores your trim, makes it look new. I don't want it to have a wet look shine. I want it to look like a new part or well-maintained part. And when I started, nobody was calling their product a trim restore. It was, trim dressing.
Yeah.
It was conditioners. I mean, but nobody called it a trim restore. Now that's what they put on the bottle, no matter what, the one thing I did that I'm happy I did is way back when, even though I didn't use it, I got the domain name trimrestorer.com, and that's kind of where people find us now, but my wife, she named the product.
How cool is that? How cool is
yeah.
So I'm looking at your backdrop, a lot of stickers. I see American flags. You're a pretty patriotic guy, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't think, besides my faith, I don't think there's anything more important than our patriotism. I lost 2 cousins in Vietnam, never came back, one of those things. And I moved out of my house when I just turned 16, and I got married the first time when I just turned 17, but I waited 5 years to have my son. Well, as soon as my cousin Dewey was killed, I tried to join the Marines, and I was already married. They looked into it, 2 family members, and the way it was is I was the last West, and blah blah blah. So I just never made it. I think the only regret I have in life is I was never able to serve. So
wow,
I believe in making up for it now.
I
might not be able to serve that way, but there's a lot of ways you can serve.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Amen, brother. That's I just look at the stickers and it's funny because, again, I'm going to go back to what I originally said. I knew what Solution Finish was. I knew I was using it. I knew how to use it. But you know what I really wanted was to meet you.
Oh, how nice.
And I say that with all sincerity because I think there's a lot of people out in the industry that feel the same way. I mean, let me tell you, you're one of the most popular guys at SEMA that doesn't have a booth. I mean, you work the SEMA angle better than anybody I've ever met.
See, and it's perplexing to me. I mean, I'm amused by it, but I look at what you do, what the industry legends do, and I'm not even in that league. I'm not even, I mean, seriously, I look at it and go, it's amusing. If I never wanted to be the face of Solution Finish. When I first started, I hired a guy, Rich Evans, car warrior guy. He was going to be the face of Solution Finish, but we'd go to the car shows and we'd go to the events, and they would walk right by him and come and talk to me about the product. They wanted to talk to the guy. So that very early on, I learned that I don't have a choice. I have to be the guy.
Well, it's probably the shades too, and it's already been pointed out to me on this that I'm the only one not wearing shades, so I've been told I need to get some.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we can just get yours to where there's the auto dimming ones, Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny. Originally, even before this, I always wore sunglasses. I have a spot in my eye that bugs me. Nobody can see it. It bugs the hell out of me. But I'm real light sensitive to fluorescent lights. I get massive migraines. That flickering gives me a headache. So I've always wore the sunglasses indoors, and everybody, Chris, like when I was doing real estate, I had meetings and people would actually say, "Can you take off those sunglasses?" I go, "No, this is what you get," but it kind of became a thing, and I don't know. I'm comfortable with what I am and what I'm doing.
It's funny you say that because I was prescribed by an eye doctor when I was 5 years old that anytime I got around, even in my shop, some days I've either got to go into Diane's office where it's not as bright or put my shades on. So since I was 5, I've been wearing sunglasses because my eyes are so sensitive.
See, that's it.
To light. Everybody thinks that I'm trying to be cool. It had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It's about not getting a headache.
Yeah. No, it's really true.
But you look cool.
Oh, thanks.
There's the difference. You look like Chris West cool, you know? I mean, you talk about a perfect storm of marketing is just, you know, solution finish. You're a solution and then you're cool. I mean, it's just, and then you bring Ashley into it. So let's talk for a second about family and so forth. You know, your kids, your wife. I mean, I see you, you know, a lot of people see you. My wife says it a cool way. And Chris, you gotta help me out if I get this wrong. A lot of people see you in the zoo, you know, with the bars, and they see Chris West, you know, on social media and stuff. But I've seen Chris West in the wild.
Oh, there you go. How nice.
And you know, you're one of the most sincerest, warmest guy, you know, tough guy, biker guy. But that's so, I mean, it is you, right? But it's not, because you're such a gentle soul. I imagine I wouldn't want to piss you off. I mean, I wouldn't want to get you on a bad day. But you know what?
I wouldn't want to get you on any day. So
but you know, let's talk about that sensitive side in your kids and your family and what's important. And I might even ask some hard questions to kind of help teach some youngsters some lessons. So talk about your family a little bit.
Well, 2 days ago, I had my fourth grandchild. My oldest son, Marshall, finally had a baby at 42, a little Violet. So now I have 4 grandkids, but I have 5 kids. And Marshall is 42. And then my son that still lives at home, or Miracle Baby, just turned 16. And then I have the 3 daughters in between, you know, the twins, Natalie and Haley, and then Ashley. And Ashley works with me full time now. You know, you look at faith, country, and family, and there's nothing more important than that. And I didn't have, the west side of the family is scattered out. Nobody's close. I haven't talked to my sister in 9 years. You know, she hates me. My brother does his own thing up in San Francisco, and, you know, real liberal, progressive. He believes in everything that they believe in up north. So we can talk about things, but not politics, you know. The funny thing is that when you say I'm a nice guy, you know, and I'm a gentle soul, my old time friends look at social media stuff and they see what people post and they go, oh, yeah, he's a real charmer. Holy crap, are you friggin' kidding me? You know, but I don't mind saying I stopped drinking almost 25 years ago, and I changed my wicked ways. And, you know, in October it'd be 25 years. And
congrats.
I literally got in a fist fight, an altercation every week since I was 14 years old. And since I stopped drinking, I've only been in a couple little scuffles. So it's amazing how you take drugs and alcohol out of your life and replace it with, you know, with faith and family, how your whole perspective on life changes, how your attitude changes. I care what people think. I just don't care what they think about me. I just want to be available and be there, you know, as much as I can. I think the hardest part about my job now is I get up early every morning. My wife brings me coffee and I do 30 to 40 messenger replies. You know, the hardest thing is keeping up with all of this. And I mean, and then when I answer a question, they jump right back in and type, because now they think I want to talk, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just never ending. But how wonderful is this? I sit in my shop, I do my little product, and I get to talk to you guys, I get to know you guys, I get to go places. It's a dream come true, you know, with the family being healthy, you know, this whole thing, everybody's asking, you know, how are you making out with the social distancing or the isolation. I go, what are you kidding me? I go from my house to the shop for 12 hours. Then I go back home. I mean, I'm self-isolating anyway. You know, when I'm working, I don't really see anybody. You know, that's why when the time comes, it's nice to go out to the events. And with this, no events.
No.
You know? Yeah.
Tough.
And I just decided I'm not going to go to SEMA this year.
Yeah. You know, I saw you post that, and I decided not to either.
Okay.
And then I noticed, I think that once you and I posted, I think they canceled the show or something like that.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. So let's talk about COVID a little bit, and I don't want to give too much merit. Whether you're a believer, I mean, the shit's real. I have no doubt, and I don't want to get anybody, you know, hating on me because I don't think. I mean, you know, I just think that. Anyway, let's stick to business. How to do business?
Yeah, that's a tough one on the COVID thing. I take it real serious because I have new babies, small babies.
There you go.
Kimmy's older father. So I don't care wearing a stupid mask. I don't care about any of that. I do it and I take it seriously because what do I know? If somebody in my family got it because I got it. And the funny part is I think I already had it. In February, I got really sick for like 3 weeks. Dry cough, fever, sweating. I mean, I was really sick and I just thought I had the flu, you know. Was late on getting my flu shot in the year. And I just got tested again and, you know, it's negative. So now this week I'm going in to get tested, see if I have the antibiotics, only because I'm curious, you know.
There you go.
But this thing is amazing what it's done to the economy, what it's done to the population, the split, the divisiveness of the whole thing. Never seen nothing like it. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again.
Well, I don't think we can afford to, you know?
No.
Yeah, I hope not.
You know, it's amazing because I'm like you. I've got my brother that's, he came out of some challenges late last year. You know, we lost my mom and then he had some real challenges and he's been with us. So we were like you, we took it, you know, I honor other people. So, you know, to go out, I'm not going to do anything stupid. I look at people going into these, you know, massive crowds and hugging on each other. Man, it's just not me right now.
Yeah, me neither.
So how did you guys fare through business wise? Was it good for you? Did you see more people doing stuff in their garages or?
I thought I was going to lose the company in January and February. No orders, nobody paying. It just stopped. Everything just absolutely dropped to a standstill. And that was before it got really serious. So I was thinking, is this a slow part of the year? Come March 1st, it exploded. The floodgates opened. I have never been, right now, we're probably done twice as much as we did all of last year. I'm sending out pallets. My last order was 2,880 12-ounce bottles. 2,880, that's 120 cases. That's, you know, 3 pallets of 40 cases. And I just sent 1,920 bottles to South Africa. But that's impressive and fun because they're big checks and they're big orders. But my vendors, my distributors, they're not only ordering more, but they're ordering more often. So a guy that I sell 144 bottles a month to is now doing 250, but he's getting it every 2 or 3 weeks. We are easily keeping up with it, but my problem is, I think I was talking to Chris about it, is supplies.
Yep.
The supply chain, there's no bottles, there's no caps, there's no orifice reducers, there's, you know, my additives, my chemicals are hard to get, but the bottle end of it is insane. My Alpha Packaging, who I buy my bottles from, one of the largest in the world probably, but they're 64 million bottles behind. That's 64 million. Perel has 3 standing POs of 6 million each. When you're done with this 6 million, we'll take another 6 million. Clorox, Johnson and Johnson, and because they're mandated by the government to do the essential companies first, all the other normal products have just dried out. And I bought everything. I bought everything that's available. After this next run, I really don't know where I'm going to get my bottles. You know, you can't get caps, you can't get bottles, and everybody's talking about it. You know,
we're having the same problem with Double Black and PNS. You know, it's tough to source things. It seems like every time we get a little nervous, we find a little crack to squeeze through. You know,
that's what I've done. Yeah.
You know, and figure it out. So let's talk about this too, is relationships.
Yeah.
In the industry and going out and with your clients and with your market. Like I said, I'm going to go back to originally meeting you. I've been using Solution Finish, but I wanted to meet you just because you had this draw. Okay, so you've told us, you know, you're recovering alcoholic, 25 years sober. You've got a past where you're kind of ornery. I know that one. You know,
yeah.
I had some pain in my life, so I wanted to bring some pain. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, I understand.
Ports of my life, and every once in a while, that old me will come out. I don't like that old me, but he'll come out. But how have you gone about? Because I'll tell you again, is your product's recognizable. I don't think there's a professional detailer that doesn't have it. But more so that Chris West image, that name. How important is it for you to go out and build those relationships compared to just kind of sitting in the reeds and letting the company build on its own?
You know, in real estate and development, and, you know, real estate particularly, you have to be a good salesman. And anything you do, you have to be a good salesman. So when I first started, it was all about marketing to me. I just wanted people to know about Solution Finish. So I'd go out and talk to people about Solution Finish. And in doing so, they meet me, and it becomes more of a friendship. And then you go from one to the other to the other. I'm perplexed on how it's turned out with my name recognition tied to Solution Finish. And it's the same thing with you. I mean, when it comes to Double Black, it's Renny Doyle. It's Renny Doyle anything. So, you know, but I don't think I would enjoy the business if it was only bottling and selling it and being gone, you know, because this is a lifestyle, and I'm enjoying the lifestyle.
I think,
you know,
the
it takes
message there is to people that are out there that are in industries, doesn't matter what industry, is did you just hear what Chris said? It's a lifestyle. You've got to enjoy. Let me tell you, I told a good friend of mine that came through training, he's really shy. And I said, dude, you got to be unshy. You got to become unshy, because the people that are going to win these games are the people that have the relationships established.
Oh, I think so. I don't do business with anybody I don't like and trust. You know, there's people that have come knocking on the door, and I talk to them and I try to be cordial, and, you know, and I already know I don't trust them. And I already know they're not going to be part of the Solution Finish family. They can buy from my warehouse distributor as a jobber or something and go the back door, but they're not going to work with me personally, and they're not going to work with the Solution Finish family. I don't have time for the drama and the backstabbing and the one-upmanship that we see. It's amazing to me how somebody's trying to grow into business by beating up on people. You know,
right?
It doesn't work. You know, and even if you're selling a product and you're trying to grow, it's not going to last long. You know, because when the times get hard, you'll be able to rely on those relationships to figure it out. But if you have a bad reputation, people are just check you off the list. You know, how could you not do this without forging relationships? I don't see how that's possible.
So you've had people start wars with you. I remember back in the early days, especially social media, you know, and we won't mention names, but you know, you had there's some battles. You know, the detailers I think right now are hitting our industry, the auto care industry. I think is hitting one of the lowest spots I've ever seen, with the hate and the bullshit and the big mouths and everything else. Somebody that's getting attacked, you know, what would your message be to those attacking and those being attacked?
Okay. When I first started, I didn't know anybody in the business, zero. And I had never been on Facebook. And somebody says, if you're going to have a business, you got to get on that Facebook social media thing. To have a business page, you have to have your personal page. So I did it. And then I started wanting to talk to people about this new product. And I would get bashed, you know, like they do. And I didn't know you weren't supposed to fight back. Not my mentality. You hit me, I'm going to hit you harder. So I got into that. And all of a sudden I realized, I don't have any friends. And this guy's got 30 friends kicking my ass. And there's nothing I can do about it. Yep. So I learned very quickly, you got to stay out of that. Yeah. You got to get above that. If you ignore it long enough, it stops. You engage in it, you fell into the trap. And right. I see guys falling into the trap all the time. Nice guys that they take it wrong. So first thing, I don't respond to anything that somebody's throwing at me until the next day. And I usually try to do it either by phone, directly, say, hey, dude, you know, if I offended you, I apologize, but I'm not a doormat. You can't just roll over me and not expect me to come to you, you know. And it just kind of stopped, you know. I don't bash anybody. They don't bash me. Guys that are doing that, right? I'm going to tell you right now, your life is going to be so much better. And your mornings and your evenings are going to be so much better. You're going to sleep better if you don't engage. Just knock it off. Just, you know, nobody cares about your opinion. Nobody cares about, you know, how you do things or how the products you use or why this is better than the other. You know, nobody cares. Tell people why you like it. Tell people your process, what pads, what speed, what machine, you know. Talk about what you do, but don't talk about other people, you know, and how they do it. It's to try to make yourself look better by one-upmanshiping a guy or beating a guy up. It makes you look like a fool. I mean, literally makes you look like a fool. And
amateur based, you know, I've even taken one step further is that I go to I send a note to the forum, whoever's running that discussion group. It usually happens in these groups. And I'll say, you know, I can't believe that you let this kind of bullshit go on. And I just check out of the group, you know?
Right.
I don't even, as a matter of fact, I completely get away from it. If somebody says something to me that's derogatory or nasty or even a little pointed, you know, a lot of people try to draw you out. I just delete them. You don't need them. Block them.
Yeah.
You know, get them gone. No need.
See, and I think I've only blocked 2 people, you know, so far. You know, and one's from the early days, you know, and the other one's my sister because she's friggin' nuts, you know. So I don't really need to block anybody because I don't really get that anymore. People tag me all the time on a really nasty thread and say, what do you think about this? And, you know, how do you want me to handle this? I mean, all the time. I go, why are you even talking about it? Why are you, you know,
what a waste of time.
Yeah, it is. And I'm as mean as a snake, you know. I mean, I have a furious temper and I keep that in check. It's contrary action. I don't road rage. I don't get involved in, you know, scuffles and arguments that mean nothing.
Absolutely.
You know, you just can't, you know, I'm going to be 65 this month. You know,
man, that's unbelievable.
My head still thinks I'm 19.
Oh, absolutely. And you take, you know, and I'm the same way as you know, we've got a saying, stop, drop, and roll, you know, and
Right.
I can get aggressive on stuff, but it's just not worth it. Choose your battles. So,
Yeah.
you know, Ashley, so you've brought Ashley into the business full time.
Right.
How did that transpire and how's it been?
She comes from the restaurant industry, craft beer, you know, kind of a fun industry. It's a real tight group, and she made lots and lots of friends. It's a very fickle business. It's kind of like our business. Guys start something and they don't make a success of it, and they let everybody go and sell everything, and then it's always in motion. And there was one time where she said, "Dad, I really need to make some extra money." I said, "Come to the shop, we'll figure out something." So for about a year and a half, she did that. And then she said, "I want to quit the restaurant business and I want to do this with you." And how cool is that? I look at it, I'm trying to build a family business. And I thought, what would happen to me what would happen if I wasn't around? Nobody knows the formula. Nobody knows how to make it. Nobody knows what I have in my head. And having her around the last 2 years has made it where she knows how to make it. She knows how to bottle, cap, label. She knows how to pack and ship. And it's, I feel better because something happened to me. She'll just keep on rolling, you know. And everybody likes Ashley. You know, she's a sweet gal. She's smart. She's funny. And, but she's tenacious. You know, she knows what she's doing. When we had this big order, she didn't even blink. She just worked like I did for 14 hours for 5 days and knocked it out, you know.
Wow.
So what an asset. I mean, how fun is it that I get to be at the shop with my daughter and her dog and build something, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to build something more than it is now, but I'm trying to really leave something for the future, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a legacy, kind of something.
Yeah. I mean, because the homes, you know, you build them and they're gone. You build them and they're gone. There's nothing continuing. When I stop building, the whole company's done. You know, I might have some plaque someplace or be in an old magazine, but it's gone. Here, no matter what happens to me, we could keep on rolling. And I think she's sharp enough to continue what I started, you know.
That's amazing. What has it bettered your lifestyle? I mean, both of you, are you guys two joined workaholics? What's happening on that side of it?
Well, I made a lot more money in real estate and development, you know, but I lost a lot more money, you know. So financially, you know, Solution Finish has doubled its sales every year since we started. Doubled.
Wow.
Which is not to impress you when you start out with zero, you know.
Right.
You know, it was little tiny baby hops. But now that it's self-supportive and it's rolling, it makes it easier. It really does. It makes it easier. But I hear all the time, "Chris, you work too much." You know, I don't take days off. Zero. You know, I took off half of Christmas last year because Kimmy wanted me to, but I don't take days off. And people say, "You work too much." And I go, "Are you kidding me? Are you friggin' kidding me? I used to have to work for a living. Now I get to do this." Poor Chris is at the shop with the radio on, television on, people popping by saying hi. I'm working with my daughter. I'm building something. I go home, eat dinner, watch one of our series with my sweet wife. And I mean, I don't have a job. I don't have a job anymore.
Yeah.
People say, "Well, when you're a big shot developer," when you were a big shot developer, you know, you were your own boss. No, you have bankers and investors and real estate agents and architects and engineers, and you have state inspectors, insurance companies. No, I had dozens of bosses, because no matter what I do, no matter what I wanted to do, I had to ask permission in some way, you know.
Right.
So Now it's just me. If I screw up, it's on me, you know, and I'm cool with that, you know, and I screw up all the time. It's just how fast you correct it. And if you misstep something, you misstated something and you realize it, you get back on the horn and say, you know what, that's not exactly what I meant. It's what I said, but it's not what I meant. You know, you correct your mistakes, because I don't have a box of secrets anymore. I don't have any skeletons in the closet. Any of my jobbers, distributors, vendors, I like and trust, so I can talk to like a friend, you know.
Love it.
So yeah,
you work with all the biggies too. I mean, you're on a first name basis with every major distributor in the industry.
Isn't that kind of fun? I mean, I don't know how that really came about. And
I do. Chris West.
Yeah.
Guy we love and adore.
Well, you know, the first company that I really went after was AutoGeek, you know, when I first started. And they tried the product. It was right before SEMA. Everybody was leaving for SEMA, which I didn't know what SEMA was. Everybody's leaving for SEMA. And they said, when you get back, they'll talk about it. And then I guess somebody at the shop tried it, and they talked to Bob and Megan and everybody. And they came back and they said, this is awesome. We'll definitely keep an eye on this. They didn't buy from me for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and I never understood why. And then Bob told me years later, said, well, there's so many companies that start up and they're not here next year. We're not going to fill our shelves with a new product and not have anybody to back it up, customer service. And then the second thing is product liability. You know, we don't want to have something that looks really good and then it starts burning the paint, ruining plastic, staining things, creating some type of lawsuit. So we just let you hang yourself, or, you know, make it through those first couple of years, you know. Yeah. And then once you get the big dog, like AutoGeek, the smaller guys, even though they may not be real small, but smaller than AutoGeek, they want to carry it because they don't want their customers going to AutoGeek for the, you know, so it just kind of grew from there. But yeah.
You bring up something that just hit my mind too. It's because a lot of small businesses are watching this, listening to this. Let me tell you, you've spent a lot of time with Megan. You know Megan real well, as do we. Let me tell you, the one thing is that the big dog on the block is she's got a big stick, and she could come out and whack people real hard if she wanted to. She's one of the most gentle giants that you could see. Yeah. There's the difference between greatness and being mediocre. Is mediocre comes out and damages other people and is an asshole.
Right.
The giants, or soon to be giants, and the happy people, you don't see that stick come out.
Right. That's exactly right. And it circles back to the social media conversation. You know, be a guy that's that is helpful. Be a guy that's encouraging. Be the guy that wants to see you successful. In those early days, I was telling this guy, see, look, there's millions of cars on the road. Our companies can't even do 0.5% of all the vehicles. So there's plenty, you don't run out of cars. I'm not going to take all the cars from you, and you're not going to take all the cars from me, and 10 more other companies could come up and they can never do all the cars. You're not in competition. You have competitors. Amen. And the competitiveness with me is I want to have a better product, you know.
You want to be a solution.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah.
So, hey, what are some of those valuable lessons you've learned in business and life? Is there a couple of them that kind of pop up to you?
I've always said that you can get everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want, whether it's a house or a piece of property, whether it's a car, no matter what service. If you help somebody get what they want, you're always going to be okay. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at it to try to sell somebody a bottle. I look at it that I want somebody to make their car really look good and have them be impressed, so just help other people and you're going to be okay forever. And the other thing is, especially the new guys, remember it takes 3 to 5 years to become an overnight success. And that's if you don't screw up too bad. So these guys that go to a blender, pick a bottle, make these really cool labels, get a nice video or two out there, and they're in the auto care industry, they might have a great looking line, but it's a tough business. You have to be able to weather the storm for literally years. It's not like you're going to slap on a label on a bottle, change the color, call it something new, and be impressive. You're not going to be able to do it.
You mentioned something really good that, our goal within our, detailing success when we train, mentor, coach people is that, you and I, our generation, no matter if you built houses or you detailed cars or you had we owned executive protection, we owned a transportation company. We've had a lot of different businesses through the years we've been successful at. It took 30 years to get where I'm at, to become a blue collar millionaire. And that millionaire, I don't have $1 million in the bank.
Right.
I will.
I understand. Yeah.
I will, but I've got $1 million worth of net worth. Listen, I want to take it down to where we've got people in our group right now. We got people in the industry. We want to take that down to 10 to 20 years where these young people are going to be set for the rest of their lives if they play it. If you listen to what Chris just laid down for the last 47 minutes, is that if you take your time, you're subtle, you make it about other people, you're not an asshole, you get real close to your CPA, is in 10 to 20 years, you can be a blue collar millionaire doing what we do. How cool is that, man? I'm like you. I come into my shop every day and I go, holy shit. Really. But it didn't happen overnight. Chris West, there was another life he lived to get where he's at now. Be patient. Be patient.
I lost $7 million in a real estate transaction. Everything that I owned was tied to this letter of credit, and everything went sideways. So within 90 days, I had not only lost it, every single penny I built up for 12 years, in the middle of a divorce, raging drunk, and I was kicked all the way to the street. I literally lived on the street for 1.5 years. No money in the bank, pennies in my pocket, behind in all my big mouth promises, nobody to call. And it was a devastating time. Lost the boat, lost the house. It wasn't humbling, it was terrifying. And I worked and clawed my way out. And the one thing I needed to do is double up on my faith and stop using methamphetamines. It was like a little combination thing, So anybody that tells me they can't do it, and they're in a position where they can't right now, they don't have enough, they don't have any place to start. Yeah, you know what? Go outside and throw a rock up in the air, and wherever it lands starts right there. That's where your journey begins, where that rock lands. And if you do that, and you help other people, you can do that in 10 years. You can build up something massive out of nothing with a little bit of faith and a lot of hard work. If you're planning on becoming a millionaire the easy way, you only have 2 options: the lottery or selling drugs. Yeah. And, all the other ways are tough. But enjoy the journey. Start at that rock and enjoy the journey.
Amen.
That's just how you have to do it.
I hear these guys that, say, hey, man, work hard in your 20s. And I was one of those reverse guys that I was really pretty dang successful in my 20s. Matter of fact, I probably had a higher net worth in my 20s than I did until 10 years ago. you know?
Right.
And the reason why is because it was so, I watched the males in my family have addiction problems.
Mm-hmm.
And thank the Lord above, that he just gave me the strength and courage to not go that direction with booze, drugs, all that stuff. I did have an addiction to one thing that hit me when I was 31, and that was work and success. And let me tell you,
Wow.
it's just as deadly.
I agree.
Just as deadly as any drug or booze that you can.
Oh, I totally agree with that. You can get into something that becomes so stressful that you hate your life. You don't feel good. You don't look good. You don't sound good, and you don't do any good.
Wow, it's powerful.
So if somebody asks me, what should I do? Find something you love to do and get really, really good at it. The old adage, I always said my whole life, find something you love to do and you'll never have to work a day in your life, that little gambit. And that's what I found in Solution Finish, in this industry. I don't have to work anymore.
Wow.
I work really hard. It's tough, long hours, long days, but I don't have to work. Once we're done with this, I'll go up, change, get to the shop, and everything I'm not going to the office. It's very fun. But just remember, there's no shortcuts.
No. Well, there is if you listen to smart guys like Chris, and you take what he's learned in the past and you bring it into your life now. And, you can cut a lot of stress out of your life just listening to this. And so, I've been tracking something, friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, Chris Lee, is on this morning, and he's been putting little tidbits in. So, Chris, how's it going, bud? Good to see you. He's a huge fan. Who else is on here? We've got
quite a few, and there's people keep saying great things about you, Chris. So you've got a lot of fans here.
Yeah.
Oh, how nice! I appreciate that, guys. Gals.
Let me go over. Hold on. There's. I've been watching. Chris Lee said hi. Where'd he go? He better still be on.
Rigo?
Another Lee, Scott Lee, our buddy Scott Lee from over in the UK. Scott is just, I think he spent some time with you. Here in Cali when he was here. I got to see him when I was over there. And Scott, I hope you're doing well, buddy. I sure miss you. But it's funny because Chris Lee was on. He had raised his hand for something. But we've got a lot of people asking. Now, one of the questions was, how do you become, and this is from, who asked the question, how to become a distributor? Shad. That was Shad, right?
Shad, yep.
Shad's a great guy, Chris, and you need to line up with him. How does he become a distributor of your product? Because they have some products.
It's a pretty rigorous process. You send me an email asking for it, and then you send me all of your contact info, and I send you my one-page sheet, and that's it. I mean, there's no credit checks. There's no lengthy forms to fill out. If I like and trust you, you can be part of the Solution Finish family. I have one thing that I don't know if it's unique to me, but it's something that I've stuck with since I started. Solution Finish does not have a minimum buy-in. If you want to try to do something with Solution Finish, I don't care if you buy 4 bottles or 4 pallets. I want it in your hands. I want you talking about it. I want you demoing it, and I want you promoting it. If you really are sincere about doing it, I've helped out a lot of guys that, they started out with 6 or 12 bottles that are doing, 200 bottles a month now. And at the margins that we have, they're doing really good. There's 2 or 3 guys that just stopped what they were doing and they're selling Solution Finish exclusively. So to become I kind of set up a little retail program for guys that just want to have it at their shop, want to have a case of it. And it's pretty easy to do. You email me at Chris with a C, Chris at solutionfinish.com. Say, I'm interested in doing something. Here's all my contact information. Here's what I do. And I send you the one page. There's some guys
One more
that,
time, go ahead and repeat that email address if they're interested in contacting you.
yeah, it's Chris with a C, CHRIS at Solution Finish, SOLUTIONFINISH.com. Just, and my phone number is 714-307-8780. So if you have some questions, if you're curious about doing something with us, you know, I always welcome the conversation. You know, it's how we grow.
When Shad sends you an email, we vouch for them right now. They're good people. We've done a lot with them. We've been to their location.
Oh, how nice.
A couple times. They're good people. So, hey, Ron Masters asked, what's the next product focus for Solution Finish? Anything new on the horizon?
Oh my God. I've been talking about over-the-top plastic sealer for the last 3 years. Right. And I'm such a chicken shit. I've got thousands of bottles sitting on the shelf, and I just can't seem to launch it. I can't seem to get myself to throw it out there. It's really, really good. I think it could be better, but I'm sure it's much better than I think it is. But my fear is, everybody says Solution Finish is so great, but that plastic thing isn't, it's okay. I mean, I've been convinced by Ashley to go ahead and launch it. We did some beta testing and it was just pretty phenomenal. My Fusion Gray is taken off, pretty good hit, but I'm putting over-the-top plastic sealer on Amazon this weekend, and it takes like a week for me to get it to Amazon, and then it's going to be on the trimrestorer.com site and see how it goes. But
I think it's,
yeah,
I'm
it's
excited.
it's pretty exciting. I'm scared to death.
Nah.
Just scared to death.
Well, hey, do me a favor, get us some, and better yet, come up here.
Yeah.
Better yet, come up here and we'll do a video and we'll show people how to use it.
Thanks for that offer, and I will definitely take you guys up on that, no doubt.
We'd love that. We'd love.
I mean,
that.
you got the very first bottle of Fusion Gray, the very first bottle.
I was going to say that, and I've got it. It's in my little museum that I've got up here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the first bottle, and what we're going to do as a thank you, watch social media, guys. I've got a bottle of Solution Finish. We're going to do an interesting little giveaway for Chris to support him for being here today. So, hey, we got a couple minutes to go. Any closing comments? Is there something that you'd really like to get across to somebody that's either younger in the industry or young? Is there one last message you kind of like to get across to people?
Teachers and mentors is huge if you're just starting. Hook up with somebody, take the time to work with them and be taught, be willing to stay teachable. If you're passionate about something, try to work with the very best. $7 an hour, $15 an hour. It's not about the money. It's about the education, and surround yourself with people that don't get caught up in the drama and all the bullshit, but surround yourself with the best. Go to them and say, this is what I want to do, and ask questions. Ask a lot of questions, write it down. I don't think people read enough. I think they scan the internet. They kind of half-heartedly sit down and read something, read your stuff. I mean, if you sit and read, it's a different mindset than scrolling on a Facebook page and getting your information from YouTube. Do some reading and get a mentor, take your class, that kind of thing, take the training,
It's amazing on how surrounding yourself by like-minded people, it can change. I learned from something. Every training course, we just had a great training course last week, and I took so much away from those guys, and some of them were experiencing the same. I mean, every class we put on, we just take so much away. And I tell people that if, we had a webinar on Monday night with just the mafia, and here I am, it was open mic night. And so people can ask me.
Oh, nice. Have fun.
And here I am answering questions But as people are asking me questions, I'm taking notes from what I'm learning from them asking what they're asking.
Oh, of course. I agree.
You know, so you can't.
That happens a lot.
That
happens a lot with Ashley. She'll ask me a dumb question and I'll kind of look at it and go, actually, I never thought about that.
Amazing
because you spend years doing it your way and you realize that, yeah, there's other ways of doing the same thing. And the trick is there's other ways of doing the same thing that's better. You just, you stop trying to figure out better ways. So, but yeah.
Well, hey,
become a student. Become a student
of life,
no matter,
of relationships, of marriage, of boyfriend, girlfriend, of being a parent. Good luck with that one. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the toughest assignments I've ever had in my life. Is
yeah, and you got a great family. How very proud you must be. That is just so cool. I mean, it really is. I read all that and I see it, and it warms my heart. It's very, very cool. You know, I want to be like you, Renny.
Hey, Chris, you get up here with that new product. Let's help you launch it.
I'm going to. I'm bored. I need a trip up the hill.
Amen. Well, come on up anytime, man. Okay. You just get a hold of us and we'll make it happen. So, hey, everybody, reach out. Make sure to take and tag Chris West in your post. Thank him for being here. He's a marvelous guy. And we can't, we're lucky to have professionals like him that we can call on to come on here and answer questions and give you guys some real solid advice. So, Chris, it's always a pleasure. You take care. Happy
all right, my friend.
detailing everybody. We'll see you.
Thank you, Chris, for setting this up and helping me this morning. I'm an idiot. Yeah.
You got it. Thanks for joining us for sure.
Yeah. All right.
See you next time.
Guys.
Take care, Chris.
Adios.